Welcome to Season 3 of the Climate Conscious Podcast. I'm your host, Deval Bazi, bringing awareness to climate change and sustainable development from a Caribbean perspective. Connecting you to sustainability solutions as we move from awareness to action. Today's special guest was born and raised in Guadeloupe. She left for 10 years studying business in France and the US and had an early professional experience in Paris, or Paris. She returned to Guadeloupe in 2002, but considers herself a world citizen, at ease with looking for the common ground with people across the globe. Currently, she is focused on a new and fulfilling challenge, promoting SMO Solar Process, a Cleantech startup that offers a wide array of solutions for a NetZero future. I am excited to welcome to the Climate Conscious Podcast, Ms. Yasmine Encelade.
Hi there, Val. Thank you so much for your invitation. I'm really happy to be here talking with you this afternoon.
So, Yasmine, acknowledging the contribution of energy to climate change in terms of the greenhouse gas emissions, there has been a lot of attention being placed on clean energy and achieving net zero. And as the global community seeks to limit global temperature rise to below 2 degrees Celsius from pre-industrial levels, Cleantech is playing a major role in reducing greenhouse gas emissions.
Yes, Cleantech are hopefully one of the way we will bring solutions to reach net zero in many ways. On the energy side, we know that electrification and use of green hydrogen are one of the best bets for the future, provided electrification is made from renewable energy. And another aspect of Cleantech is also that it deals a lot with limiting use of new resources, it deals with recycling. And so it's another way to limit CO2 emissions. So yes, Cleantech are definitely a way that will play, or a technology environment that will play a major role for our future. And it's still emerging. It still needs to get support from government, from financing, from people. But really, there are lots of solutions that are ready to play their part for a brighter future for all of us.
Recently in the news, the U.S. climate envoy, John Kerry, he said that, we need new technologies to prevent climate change. He also said that half of the reductions in carbon emissions will come from technologies that do not yet exist. What are your thoughts on that?
Well, that's exactly what is written in the International Energy Agency report for Technology Perspective 2020, which I read with a lot of interest. And yes, it's crazy to think that 50% of the tech we need to reach our goals are not yet deployed. Some of them exist, but the more we wait to put them in use, the more we don't give ourselves the chance to make a difference in carbon emissions. So there really is a need to support, try, deploy these new technologies. And this is something we've been facing because in our company, we've been working on our project since 2009. So it's been a long time maturing, developing, and we are now at a stage where we can really offer solutions. And we see how steep the path is to make it happen. Although we answer much of what is asked for as far as climate change is concerned, but really there's this need for trust in new technologies and in new ways to do things, because if we just do business as usual, we are going to exceed the worst scenarios as far as global warming is concerned.
I think one thing that's absolutely clear coming out of the events of last year especially is that the status quo cannot continue. As cliche as it sounds, we have to think and act outside of the box. And technology offers that opportunity to do things differently. Cleantech, it's focusing on increasing performance, productivity, and efficiency while minimizing the negative effects on the environment. So, as I mentioned in your introduction, you have embraced a new and exciting challenge with SMO Solar Process, a Guadeloupe-based startup that has developed a clean tech solution that converts biomass and waste into green energy. So tell us, how does this technology work?
Well, this technology is really part of this new way to think about recycling, circular economy, energies. So what we've developed is a solar-powered plant that can turn any type of carbon-based waste. So it can be biomass, it can be sargassum, which are major problems for us in the Caribbean, but it can also be plastics, it can be wastewater sludge. All that can be used to power these machines. And using only solar energy to power the process, we turn this waste into green hydrogen, green electricity, and also a range of industrial or agricultural entrants that recycle the carbon that would otherwise go back into the atmosphere. So it's really a virtuous cycle where we use waste, we use the abundant solar energy that we have, and we recycle the carbon from what we've already used and make it use it for a long time instead of having new emissions to produce new materials. So we're really happy to be part of this new revolution of working the carbon cycle and limiting global warming this way.
You all are killing a couple birds with one stone here.
Yes, and that's the type of technology we are developing is from a family of technology that are called bioenergies with carbon capture and utilizations. And it's exactly that. It's doing several things at the same time, and all those things directly contribute to fighting against climate change. And these are among the 50% of technologies that are not yet fully deployed, because oftentimes it's costly or you cannot find what to do with the end products. And this is what's interesting with our solutions. It's that because we use direct solar energy, we don't pay for the energy to transform the waste. And this makes it really different from other technologies.
So we're addressing waste, we're addressing energy and also resource use. And this is definitely the direction that we need to go in.
In addition to what the machine can do, it was also thought by someone from the islands, someone from Guadeloupe. And so he had in mind that in Caribbean islands, we have a set of constraints, such as available land. And so this technology is compact. Each production unit fits a container. And so you can have a series of containers that use little space and can produce a large amount of energy. So for instance, if you compare the land that would be needed to power a 10 to 15,000 people city, with our technology, you would need around 5 acres. And if you wanted to give the same power with photovoltaic technologies, you would need 15 times as much land, because you would need to have place for the photovoltaic panels. So it's really thought for places with many constraints. Same thing, the technology fits into these containers, although it can unfold to make full use of the solar energy, but it's made to fit easily into containers, because if you have hurricanes, you have to put your energy equipment in security. So all that has been thought for really difficult places like ours, and what can work for us can even easily work for places where you have more space, more infrastructures, etc. So this is a major aspect also of our technology.
You know, as someone who has an interest in sustainable energy, what makes this even more exciting is that it was developed right here in the Caribbean. The region normally imports technology and expertise, but now we have developed a solution that caters to our local conditions, but can also be applied worldwide.
Absolutely. And we're very proud of that as islanders and Caribbeans. And we have recently been awarded the Solar Impulse label. So it's from the Solar Impulse Foundation, which recognizes solutions that are efficient in ecological terms as well as economical terms. And right now, SMO Solar Process is the only solutions with the label for all the Caribbean. And we're really happy to be recognized among what they call 1,000 solutions to change the planet. And we are living that as Caribbean people, and we're really happy to represent islands on the global stage.
Yasmine, you and I, we met last year during the Climate Reality Leadership Training. And one thing that stood out was that in the whole climate change discussion about impacts and solutions, our region was not represented at all. And that led us to start a Caribbean subgroup to really highlight the issues of climate change as it relates to our region and also the solutions that are available.
Yes, I think if we found ourselves there as Caribbean, it's because we felt the need to have a voice that was not there and still is difficultly heard. We are small islands, small nations, often isolated. Guadeloupe is special, I could say, because it's part of France, but it's very different from France. We have different subjects. For instance, in Guadeloupe, most of our energy is from fossil fuel plants, because we don't have a choice. We have to import oil and to produce fuel from polluting sources. And this is something that we just have to live with right now. So we have to be the ones to find our own solutions and to be heard, because the world of energy is a very controlled world with big players for whom we are very small actors. So I think for myself, getting into the Climate Reality project was a way to find strength in numbers, and finding fellow Caribbean that wanted to find more resilient, healthier solutions for where we live. and trying to find ways to make that happen was really something important and very rich as an experience.
Yes. And I think whatever we lack in terms of landmass, we make up in terms of ideas and creativity. You know, that Caribbean spirit, which I firmly believe we're able to dig deep and find solutions to our problems as you have.
Yes, I think like I said, we have many constraints we have to live with. So if we want to survive, we have to find solutions, and we are good at that, I think.
Yes.
It's not always easy to be recognized as such. Many times we are told that, well, we should just, try to accommodate and not try to reach too much. But I think we can think big and try to do big things. And that's why I was so taken with this project and this technology. It's because yes, it's good for us, but we can also offer solutions that are universal. So many things can be done from the Caribbean and resonate with many parts of the world. So I think we should not be afraid to spread our wings and share with the rest of the world what we can do.
Absolutely. Do not be afraid. Spread your wings.
We do it with music, Caribbean music is known anywhere. So the rest can be there too. So let's do that.
That is so true. That confidence we have in our culture, we need to transfer it in other aspects, in other sectors.
Yes. And, this year, despite the COVID and or maybe because of the COVID, I don't know which way, but we did a lot of things online. And for us, it has been a very interesting journey because we have decided to participate in international conferences for startups and things like that we probably wouldn't have been to in usual times, because we would have thought it's going to be costly to travel and we're going to be isolated and so on. And being able to do it online, we've really just went there, and we've had many wonderful surprises. So we participated recently in the Collision Tech Conference in North America, and we were selected among 56 startups among more than 1,000 to have our pitch featured in this conference, So, yeah, we're from the Caribbean, but yes, we can talk to the world and be there with the others. We just have to reach out and to do it. And really, it's something I want to do with other fellow startup companies or companies from the Caribbean. Just go participate, just register to all these events and say what you have to say, because it matters and it can make a difference.
Well said, Yasmine. Coming back to the technology, it has a lot of very cool components in terms of using direct solar, processing waste, but also one of the latest buzzwords I would say right now is green hydrogen. And I think it's important to make that distinction, because when we're speaking about hydrogen, there's gray, brown, green, blue. But I think the one that we really want to target and achieve and has been drawing a lot of attention is green hydrogen.
Yeah, you're right to point out the different types, because hydrogen is a very common element in the universe, and it's a commodity that is used in many industries. But as you said, it's what we call gray hydrogen, which means it's made from fossil fuels. So today, to obtain hydrogen, mostly you will process fossil sources and emit a lot of greenhouse gases to produce the hydrogen. So it's it contributes to pollution. Why there is a buzz right now on hydrogen? It's because it's packed with energy, and when you use it, when you burn it, it only liberates water. So this is the part of hydrogen used for electricity production or to power mobility. That is really promising, the idea that we will only emit water. But this only works if the hydrogen itself that we use is not made from fossil sources. So that's the matter of gray hydrogen, which is currently available, currently rather cheap, but doesn't solve the issues of climate change. So the next best thing after this gray hydrogen was to talk about blue hydrogen. So what is blue hydrogen? It's also fossil-based hydrogen, only you find a way to capture the CO2 that's emitted while you produce this hydrogen. So it's a bit better than gray hydrogen, but still you have to find ways to capture the CO2 and you have to find things to do with it. And this is not really stable or useful today. So yes, it's a way to transition from gray hydrogen, but there had to be other ways to produce a more virtuous hydrogen. And that's where we get to green hydrogen, which is hydrogen produced from renewable energy and other feedstock sources. So today you have different ways to produce this green hydrogen. One of the ways to produce green hydrogen is using a technology called electrolysis and powering this electrolysis of water with renewable electricity such as photovoltaic or wind energy. So this is something that we can hear a lot about today, and it's certainly promising for the future. Only it requires lots and lots and lots of green electricity in order to power the electrolyzers and produce the green hydrogen. So this is certainly coming, but first there will need to be a big buildup of green electricity production before we can have large volumes of green hydrogen from electrolysis. Another way to produce green hydrogen are technologies such as ours, which is the transformation of waste into energies, and green hydrogen is one of the outputs of this transformation. We are very lucky, I won't say lucky, but innovative in the way we do it, because to have this transformation of waste into green hydrogen requires a lot of energy also. But with our technology, we take this energy directly from the sun. So that's what makes us autonomous to produce green hydrogen from waste today. So this is a lesser known type of technology among those 50% that need to be acknowledged and encouraged for the future, but it can be set up really easily, including in low infrastructure areas, and it doesn't require so much land use as you would need if you need to build big photovoltaic capacities before you can produce green hydrogen from electrolysis.
Yes, I think that is an important point to highlight. There's a lot of interest in green hydrogen locally here in Trinidad and Tobago for deployment in our petrochemical industry. But as you said, before we get to that stage, we need to develop our renewable energy production capacity.
Yes, that's a major subject right now.
Yeah. So I think the key is to have diversity in the approaches so that we don't just put all our eggs in one basket. I don't think that green hydrogen would be the savior, but it can definitely maybe offer some support in terms of decarbonizing sectors that are hard to electrify.
Yes, absolutely. This is one of the main interests of green hydrogen. And the other one is also to bridge the gap from intermittent renewable energy sources. Because today, I think everyone in the world can see how cheap solar energy has become. But unfortunately, you can't have it all the time, or when you want it, sometimes you won't have it. So you have to find a way in your energy mix to have a stable energy sources. So it can be through batteries. Today, a lot of time it's still done from fossil energy sources. But tomorrow, green hydrogen can play this role to balance the green energy mix and complement solar and wind energies.
I'm always happy to see the development in renewable energy technologies being deployed in the region. I think it could be accelerated, particularly here in Trinidad and Tobago, but we have the unique challenge of being an oil and gas-based economy and a producer of fossil fuels.
But do you know that today half of the hydrogen in the world is used for oil refining, actually? So maybe there are, connections to be made between the oil and gas industry and the new technologies, because everyone is going to have to evolve at some time. So I think they are already considering evolving. Look at what's happening in the Middle East. They're investing a lot in green hydrogen. They have the biggest project in green hydrogen in the world. So I think all the actors are trying to think of what the energy needs and consumption modes are going to be in the next 30, 50 years. So I guess even, in smaller countries that are producers, there can be first steps to explore alternative energy sources.
There's a local company that was formed looking at green hydrogen. I think the big challenge to be overcome is the production of renewable energy. And as you mentioned earlier, solar PV would require a lot of land space, which is limited in islands. So I think those are the
Unless you use our solution.
Right. So I think SMO Solar Process would be very applicable for us.
Yeah. And we actually also last year had a prize at the international competitions that is called Tech for Islands. And the idea is to also recognize technologies that make islands more resilient and use local sources to solve islands' subject or issues. And I would really recommend any Caribbean companies to participate in this competition, because last year 37 countries participated, 186 projects were presented. So it's starting to really build up and to open opportunities. And there is the 2021 edition right now. So companies have up to July 7 to offer propositions to make islands more resilient, more healthier, and more human somehow, or help them take care of their people. So it was really a wonderful adventure for us, and I would encourage Caribbean islands to participate in this competition.
Yes, we need to get more Caribbean tech out there. Well, the Climate Conscious podcast, we aim to bring awareness. We also aim to connect you to solutions, and definitely SMO Solar Process is a viable solution for clean energy in the Caribbean. Yasmine, at one point this was just an idea, but now you all are heading towards full commercial units. I'm sure it would have been a long road with challenges and twists and turns. But what would you say to the Caribbean startup that is maybe in the early stages of their journey? What advice would you share with them?
Well, I heard a conference this morning where the presenter was saying that when you're developing a project, when you believe in your idea, you need to have your North Star and follow your North Star. You know, if you really have conviction, you have to stay there and fight for it. And it's what we've been doing since 2009, where there was the inception of the idea. And we're really getting there now. Hopefully, we will have our first operating plant by early 2022. So it takes time. But if you really believe in what you're doing, make it happen. That's what I would tell fellow Caribbeans. Believe in your project. Ask for help. Ask for support. If we can reach our objective, we want to be able to help others to share the keys to what we've been doing that worked for us. And if it can work for them, all the better, because the more we succeed as Caribbean, the more we will help other Caribbeans succeed, and it will be a good thing for all of us. So really hang in there, ask for help, and show yourself on the global stage, because you have your place there like anybody else. And let's go Caribbean.
So I am not a tech startup, but I will be taking your advice to follow my North Star and to take up space.
Good for you.
So Yasmine, where can listeners connect with you or learn more about SMO Solar Process?
Well, we have a website that is www.smosolarprocess.com. So you're welcome to visit it. We also have YouTube channels with a few videos that show you how the technology works. And you can contact us through the website, also through LinkedIn. And we're really happy to share with whoever wants to make this project happen, or to talk about opportunities around this technology. We're really happy to discuss and to explore. So don't hesitate to reach out.
I'm really proud of this technology and the work that you all are doing, you and your team. I mean, from 2009 to 2022, it's been a journey, but you all have stayed the course. And I look forward to widespread deployment of this technology in the Caribbean and beyond, and hopefully in Trinidad and Tobago, especially.
Yeah, let's work on that.
Yes. So Yasmine, thank you so much for joining me on this edition of the Climate Conscious podcast.
Thank you very much, Daval. It was really a pleasure to discuss that with you today, share it with your listeners. So anytime.
Thank you for listening to the Climate Conscious podcast. If you haven't already, please subscribe and connect with us on Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter @The Climate Conscious. And be sure to check out the Climate Conscious Lifestyle Kit.